Hi folks, Puffin here. I'm going to explain why Trump and Putin and the Trumpers, or as I call them, Trumputineers, are Klansmen and Nazis. And we're not just calling them that to be insulting, they just actually are, which is why we've got to catch them all and make sure that their ideology, or misdeals, as I call them, will not persist. Because they're worse than the ones decades ago. We've had those decades where everyone's talking about how bad Nazis are, the worst people ever, and these people decided to still just go for it. Now, there's so many examples. I can't get into all of them, but I'll get into three major examples that quickly prove. Although the biggest example is just that Putin picked certain puppets using Facebook. Facebook and Twitter and some other social media platforms were instrumental in doing this. But he picked these puppets and got them all to spread the same lies, for instance, about the Trump virus, which has made it into a genocide, spreading it around by telling people not to wear masks, all sorts of other stuff, which they're still doing. And that's one of the actions that shows they're genocidal, which is one of the telltale signs of being Nazis. Same with being homophobic, racist, sexist, transphobic. Everything else they are that are hallmarks of being Nazis shows what they are. But there's three really quick things, and the KKK and the KGB merged under Trump Putin. Now maybe these were two heads of the same evil hydra before, but it's like they quit paying rent on the other office and came together under Trump and Putin. And it's the same thing. They're Klansmen and Nazis. They're the same evil organization right in our face, and we're certainly not acting like it. We're certainly not stopping this terrorist organization from, we're not committing our war on terror on them like we should be. The first example of Trump is America First, which is a Klan slogan from 100 years ago. That was known the entire time. People can pretend that they don't know that Trump is KKK or a Nazi, or that they don't know that Putin is a Nazi. They can pretend that they don't know that. And of course, Trump and Putin lie to them. You can see Putin pretending, at least to some of his audience, that he's against Nazis, because that's why he said he's going into Ukraine. But of course, he's the one committing the actions that are like the Nazis. Now, America First identifies that Trump is KKK. He's the face of the KKK in America, bringing that back, rallying that is his base, or the core of his base in America, the racist terrorists here. And he's got that support from these Trumputineer trolls worldwide that are all of the same mindset, the same racist and sexist and just terrible fascist mindset. Now, just the evil mindset that Putin programs them through the KGB. The KGB mostly does that, as far as I know, is produce misinformation and these types of stories that funnel people into this type of terrorist hate group. Now, this Klan KKK thing is also borne out in Trump's immigration policy. So, example number 2 is Stephen Miller, who was the protege of Larry Elder, who tried to have a takeover coup of California in order to ban masks, in order to get another variant going, in order to make sure that the genocide spread super rapidly, because banning masks in California a year ago would have really done that. It luckily failed, or the people defeated it. Good job, people. But his protege, Stephen Miller, worked for Trump in the White House and wrote Trump's immigration policy by plagiarizing Hitler's propaganda minister. So, copying a Nazi, pretty certainly a Nazi. I mean, I think Joe Biden was in trouble for plagiarizing some things, but like plagiarizing Martin Luther King or somebody, plagiarizing Mahatma Gandhi, or plagiarizing somebody decent, plagiarizing Robert Kennedy or somebody, not plagiarizing Nazis. So Trump's guy plagiarized Nazis to write his immigration policy. So Trump has a Nazi immigration policy. And that's the middle thing. Again, plenty of things to fill in. But the end thing is near the end of Trump's presidency, when he spoke at the CPAC convention, he spoke on a stage that was shaped like a Nazi symbol. Again, to some of their audience, the ones who like to be Nazis, they broadcast it. They dog whistle it or whatever, or just come right out and say it as often as they can. Stand by or whatever. To the other ones, they're duped into it, and that's kind of an excuse, except we've been telling them, you're Nazis the entire time for years, 5-6 years now. So there's not that much excuse. There's not that much defense, but we do need to spread this information. And of course, the other Nazi organization is the social media corporations that do not allow videos like this to be shared, but allow their propaganda to spread like wildfire. And of course, Facebook, even worse. Twitter, probably even worse. Well, obviously even worse. Elon Musk just bought part of it. Obvious Nazi. Who said recently that artificial intelligence is more dangerous than nuclear bombs. I need to do another video about that. But the 3 things from Trump. America first is KKK. Immigration plan is Nazi. Stage he stood on was a Nazi symbol. There was other things about him getting, a Nazi symbol in a Facebook ad that people had to protest for a week to get Mark Zuckerberg to not remove but archive. Mark Zuckerberg is in there with Putin and Trump and needs to be in there in jail with Putin and Trump. So thanks for watching. Got to catch them all. And we got to identify them and call it for what it is. It's terrorism, domestic terrorism within our country and all over the world, and it needs to be rooted out. The mentality needs to be rooted out and stamped out for good and forever. And we can do it, but we got to talk about it. We got to address it and call it out to its root. It's just Putin. Nobody's going to miss it when Putin and all his puppets are gone. We got to call it out to its root, root it out, and point it out so it doesn't crop back up in humanity ever again. Thanks for watching. Love you forever. See you soon.